Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're jumping into something that I think we can all agree is pretty awesome, sports. But we're not just going to talk about scores or stats. Nope, we are going way, way back to look at the history of play itself, and you're going to see how the games we love today are actually tied to our survival as a species. I mean, have you ever actually stopped to ask yourself that? Really think about it. Why do we have this incredible built-in need to compete? To run, to throw, to outthink an opponent on a board? What is it inside us that drives this desire to play? Well, you're not going to find the answer in any modern rulebook. The real answer, the deep answer, is written in our own history. To really get why we play, we have to rewind the clock and see how this instinct is basically woven right into our DNA. All right, so our first stop on this journey is right here. We're starting with the idea that sports, well, they didn't begin as entertainment. They started as a practice for survival itself. Long before anyone was cheering from a stadium, we were just trying to live. Think about it like this. If your life is nothing but work, 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 you get completely burned out. You feel frustrated, stressed out, you might even get depressed. Play has always been the natural way to balance that out. It's an instinct we've had forever, a way to blow off steam, find some joy, and get this, practice the very skills that kept us alive. And this is where it all clicks. This slide draws a perfect line from ancient survival to modern sports. The skills our ancestors absolutely needed to make it to the next day are the same skills we celebrate in our athletes now. That spear they used for hunting, that's today's javelin. Running from danger, that's the modern sprint. Fighting over land, that became wrestling. It's an absolutely fascinating evolution. Okay, so we've seen where sports come from, but why are they still so important to us today? Why do they matter so much? Well, it's because the benefits go way beyond just having a good time. They are totally crucial for both our minds and our bodies. You know that amazing feeling you get when you're playing a game? That unique kind of happiness and relief? That's powerful stuff. It's one of the best tools we have against the crazy pressures of modern life. It absolutely demolishes stress, helps fight off depression and anxiety, and it's just a healthy way to deal with everything we're feeling. Honestly, it's a non-negotiable part of a good life. And you know, it's not just about getting physical. This slide does a great job of showing the two sides of the coin. Of course, physical sports like wrestling and running make us stronger, but mental games like chess or even just solving a puzzle are just as vital. They keep our mind sharp, they build our strategic thinking. It's really about taking care of the whole package. Now, let's step inside for a minute and check out the incredible history of games that were played within four walls. So many of these have been passed down for generations, and they're just this amazing testament to our love for strategy and connecting with each other. So, take a game like Chaukabara. This was a classic in ancient Indian homes. Just picture it. Families gathered on the floor, throwing cowrie shells as dice, moving their little pieces across a cloth board. It's all about these thrilling chases and clever blocks. And if that sounds familiar, it should. Its spirit is totally alive and well in the game of Ludo we all know today. And then you have a game like Sagar-Gote, which seems so simple at first. You just need a few stones or seeds, but then you watch someone who really knows how to play. The hand flashes, tosses the stones up, and in a split second they scoop up another one before catching the whole lot on the back of their wrist. It's like this beautiful little dance of skill and focus, and it proves you don't need anything fancy to have a captivating game. You know, not all games are about winning or losing. Some are about creating. Batukali was this wonderful, imaginative game where kids and their whole families would put on a full wedding ceremony for their dolls. I mean, this was more than just playing. It was a way to learn social traditions, to bring the family together, and just to share in a fun, collective story. All right, let's head back outside. When we think about outdoor games, you can pretty much split them into two big groups. You've got the games that grew out of local traditions. We'll call those Indian games. And then you have the ones that became famous all over the world, the international games. This slide really shows you the amazing range of games out there. On one side, you have these incredible games like Kabaddi and Kho-Kho, which are just baked into the culture in India. And on the other side, you've got these global giants like cricket and football. It's just a beautiful contrast between local heritage and worldwide appeal. Oh, and here's a game you can almost hear just by reading the name, Gilli-Danda. Can you picture it? That sharp crack as the long stick, the danda, hits the little tapered gilly and sends it flying through the air. And then the challenge for the fielder is to snatch it before it hits the ground, a flash of skill that feels a lot like a modern catch in cricket. In fact, many people think Gilli-Danda is basically cricket's rustic granddaddy.
And if you want to see a sport that just seems to defy gravity, you have to look at Mallakhamb. This is just a breathtaking display of pure power and elegance. You see these athletes moving like acrobats up a wooden pole, twisting into yoga poses and showing off wrestling grips, all while they're suspended in the air. It's just an incredible showcase of what the human body can do, a perfect blend of gymnastics and ancient tradition.
So as we start to bring this all together, what's the big takeaway? We've seen that sports aren't some modern invention. No, they are a timeless thread that's been woven through the entire story of humanity.
So really, here's the bottom line. The equipment changes, right? The rules get more complicated and the stadiums get a whole lot bigger. But that core thing, that spirit, that joy you feel when you're moving, the thrill of competition, that basic human instinct to just play, that has never, ever changed. It's been with us right from the very beginning.
And that brings me to one last thought for you. We all have those games from when we were kids, the ones that kind of made us who we are. Maybe it was a real sport, or maybe it was something you and your friends just made up in the street. So I'll leave you with this question. What game from your past do you think deserves to be passed on, to be remembered forever?